Hello students, welcome to Shubhra Ranjan IAS. My name is Shubhanshu Jaiswal and let's start our daily current affairs questions. Now, in question 1 today we have consider the following statements with respect to Indian skimmer. Now, what is Indian skimmer? It is a bird. Fine. Now, the statement 1 is it is primarily a herbivorous bird species found in the dense forest of India. Now, what is a herbivorous species? These are those species which depend mainly on plants. However, the Indian skimmer species, they actually eat fish, so they are not herbivorous, and the statement is incorrect. Now, the second statement under IUCN red list, it is categorized as vulnerable. Now, again incorrect statement because it is actually endangered species under IUCN red list, and needless to say, if any species is endangered or critically endangered, then you need to pay more attention. Even if you do not cover it in your newspaper, I would definitely be covering it, their species, any distinct feature about them, and more importantly their habitat. Fine. So however, while reading the newspaper, you should be cautious if such species are there. Fine. Now, the third statement, it is on habitat. It is mainly found in southern Asia. So yes, it is correct. Indian skimmer is found in the southern Asia, in countries like your India, Pakistan, your Bangladesh, Nepal, etc. And in these countries, they are especially found near the rivers or big lakes. Okay. For example, in India, you find these species in Ganga water system and Chambal water system. Fine. Similarly, in Pakistan, you find these species near the Indus river system. Fine. So these are the things which you need to remember. Now, why it is there in the news? Let's see that. So recently what happened, one Indian skimmer, it was spotted along the Ghagra river at Dudhwa Tiger Reserve. Now, where is this Dudhwa Tiger Reserve? It is in the state of Uttar Pradesh, near the Lakhimpur Kheri and Bahraich district. If you can figure out, it is in the UP. Fine. Now, the important river which is flowing in this Dudhwa National Park is actually river Ghagra. Fine. Now, this is again the tributary of river Ganga. And we just discussed that it is found, this bird is found in the river system. Which river system? Ganga and Chambal. Fine. Now, fish eating birds with a black cap on their head and bright orange bill. So you can see in this picture, it has a bright orange yellowish beak. Fine. Which we call bill as well. And it has a black patch on its head. Something special about it. And again, you can see it is just going into the water to catch a fish and eat, so it is not herbivorous. Fine. Rest of the things we have discussed. Now let's go ahead. Now, with reference to white label ATM, consider the following statements. Number 1, it is not affiliated with any specific bank and is operated by non-banking entities. So yes, they are telling you the very correct fact that what are white label ATM? These are the ATMs which are operated by non-banking companies. Fine. They are not operated by the commercial banks like SBI, HDFC, PNB, etc. Fine. So yes, this statement is correct. Now, why do we have it? Because you understand, India is a vast country and we cannot, the commercial banks cannot cover all the area. They cannot provide this service to all the citizens. So we need to expand these ATM services, and for that we need the other companies, the non-banking companies also to participate. And that is why these ATM operators have been received authorization from RBI. So RBI has anything related to banking will be needing the authorization of RBI. So yes, RBI has authorized these non-banking companies to participate and operate white label ATM. However, the fact that it is under Banking Regulation Act, this is incorrect, because RBI has allowed them under the Payments and Settlement System Act of 2007. Try to remember this act, because in questions of economy especially and the banking related acts, they are generally asked in your UPSC exam. Fine. Now, going ahead, these ATMs are exclusively used for international currency exchange. No, that is not the true. Exclusively means only international. No, it can be used for multiple purpose. So again, statement 2 and 3 are incorrect. So only one is the right option here. Now let's go ahead. Fine. So what was the news? That experts have suggested RBI to invite more non-banking companies. The concept we discussed. Why? To increase the basically financial inclusion. Now, why we are discussing this news in depth is because it is one of the key areas where UPSC asked the question. So financial inclusion is a very important topic of your GS3 and in fact your prelims as well. So whenever there is anything related to this, any scheme related to do the financial inclusion, always try to understand it thoroughly and use it in your mains answer. Fine. Now rest of the things which we have I think we have already covered. Fine. Yes. Now let's go ahead. Now consider the following statements with reference to Adi Shankaracha. Now the statement 1, he made a significant contribution to development of Advaita Vedanta, a school of thought in Hindu philosophy. We'll discuss it, don't worry. Yes, this is correct. He established Advaita Vedanta school of philosophy. Now second, he emphasizes the non-dualistic nature. Non-dualistic, he says he believes in monoistic nature, fine, of reality, asserting that individual self, that is Atma, is ultimately identical to the supreme reality Brahma. Fine. So he says Atma and Brahma are not different, they are one. Now why it is this? Because understand what was happening during the later Vedic period. In later Vedic period, the society was rigidly divided into 4 varnas, fine, and in this one, the Shudra, they didn't get the privileges, they didn't get the respect which other varnas enjoyed, and hence they felt resentment, उनको एक नाराजगी थी, and in such conditions, in fact not just Shudras, at some extent Vaishyas and women as well. Now, in such a time, what was happening? The new religious orders were emerging. For example, Buddhism and Jainism. So naturally, when they face the discrimination in one religion, they will be attracted to the other religion. And this is why they were, Buddhism and Jainism was growing day by day. Now what happened? Obviously other factors are also responsible. Now to counter the hegemony, to counter the narrative of Buddhism and Jainism, because they gave them that respect, they gave them that accommodation, they gave them, these people, those that welcome. Now to counter the effect of this, what happened? Bhakti movement came into the picture. And now in Bhakti movement, now you can understand, in fact this Advaita Vedanta philosophy, what is happening here? He is preaching about the non-dualistic nature, that Atma and Brahma is one, that we are the part of the God itself. There is only one supreme reality. We do not need to do the discrimination. And in this way, he has united the people. He has united. And that is why we recently dedicated the MP administration, recently they unveiled the 108 feet tall statue of Oneness dedicated to Adi Shankaracharya. Right? So this is the basic concept. Now he actively promoted and supported Buddhist philosophers? No, just we discussed the entire story. In fact, this is the opposite of what happened. So here statement 1 and 2 are correct. Now let's go ahead. Now, location is also important. Let us look at the location, the geography. So this Statue of Oneness is actually located in the state of Madhya Pradesh, near Ujjain, not very near, but again. Now, if you try to zoom in, this is where exactly the Mandhata is the island, the place where this Statue of Oneness is located. Now, what you need to understand and remember, you can see a very big and important river flowing from here, which is Narmada river. Fine. Also an important thing, that at the south of this Statue of Oneness, you have Omkareshwar Jyotirling. Fine. So time and again UPSC has asked questions on Jyotirling, the rivers near the temples. So understand and try to remember this geography. Fine. Let's go ahead. Apart from geography, what is needed? So we also need to know few facts about Adi Shankaracharya. Firstly, have the look. This is the statue which has been unveiled in the Madhya Pradesh. Now, it is in which district? The district's name is Khargone district. Fine. Now, something about Adi Shankaracharya. So, he was born in 8th century in the state of Kerala. He studied there. Although he was South Indian, but he studied and he preached in Sanskrit language. Okay. He established the 4 मठ, 4 मठ, जिसको हम 4 धाम के एस्पेक्ट से समझते हैं. Now, these 4 मठs when he established are Badrinath, Sringeri. Remember, Rameshwaram is not here. When the the idea of Char Dhams was incepted, at that time Rameshwaram was not there. In fact, Sringeri was there. Fine. So, Badrinath, Sringeri, Puri and Dwarka were the 4 mat ya 4 dham which were established by him. Vedanta school of philosophy, and he propagated the idea of knowledge leads to salvation. Fine. Now, he was the first Bhakti saint who united the whole of India. Okay, these are the things which we have already discussed. Fine. So it is quite important. Try to memorize it, not just for current affairs but from history point of view as well. Fine. Consider the following statements with respect to foot and mouth disease. So another disease in the news. Number 1 statement: it is a highly bacterial disease that has a significant economic impact. Now see, what they are saying that it is a bacterial disease, and this is incorrect because it is actually a viral disease. Fine. Yes, it does have a significant economic impact. Why? Because this disease happens to cattle, the livestock, and India's GDP, the livestock industry of India plays a significant role in India's GDP. So anything happening to our cattle will have adverse effects in our GDP as well. Now, under the National Animal Disease Control Program, it aims to eradicate this disease by 2030. So yes, to eradicate this particular foot and mouth disease, we have this program, National Animal Disease Control Program, which is run by Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairies. So here only one statement would be the right answer. Fine. Now let's go ahead. So yes, you can see foot and mouth disease. So foot and mouth, here you can see these 2 parts are primarily these 2 parts are affected. Remember, this is not just happening in cattle. Even humans can also catch it. However, mainly it is found in cattle. Now you can see the kind of symptoms it is showing. Right? Now, so what is the news? So the news is Chandigarh recently vaccinated over 21,000 livestock against FMD. This disease affects the cattle, sheep, goats, etc. Very contagious, very viral disease. Fine. What are the things which happen? So it leads to the reduction in milk yield, decreases the growth rate, infertility, and so on. And this particular program, National Animal Disease Control Program, aims to control FMD by 2025 with vaccination and eventually the complete removal, that is eradication, by 2030. So this is how it is. So these are the things which have been in news lately and which you need to understand and remember for prelims point of view. Just in case if there is any part which you are not able to understand, you can just mention it in the comments. We'll help you out. Thank you very much. Have a good day.